You guys want to tell me I'm not abused? I left last night because he was drinking, and this is what I came home to. And now I have his dad screaming at me. He's on the phone with the police right now, claiming that I'm invading his house. This is what I deal with. There's a piece of shit himself.
I'm not saying that her partner is a narcissist, but if he is, he's at minimum a very, very toxic, dangerous person. And of course, if you're new here, I'm a narcissist. I actually have narcissistic personality disorder. So you go back to the beginning of her video. She says, you guys want to tell me that I'm not abused, which means that she probably told other people about what's going on and they don't believe her because maybe her partner, her ex or whatever, has a good reputation like most narcissists and toxic people do. People tend to not believe you when the narcissist has a good reputation and is nice and sweet and kind and generous to other people. He did all of that stuff right there, went outside, dumped trash cans inside of the house in a fit of rage, y'all. He ended up getting away safely, but right now I think she's trauma bonded. Check this out.
My restraining order was approved. I have mixed feelings because I'm really happy that it got approved because that means that it's protecting my brain from being manipulated and it's protecting my heart from being broken. And if I can get a restraining order approved off of a couple pictures and a few text messages, that definitely shows that he's a danger to me, but I also love him very much and it's very, very difficult. And this all just hurts. And my kids still hate me, but that's okay because that'll come in time.
That is the trauma bond in action 100% right there, y'all. Because her mind knows that she doesn't want to be with that person. Her mind knows it's not safe. She said it, but her heart is still in it. And when I tell people when your heart and your mind are not in alignment, it leads to the trauma bond. It leads to you making decisions based on your heart as opposed to logic in your mind. The trauma bond feels like an addiction, like you get addicted to the person, just like a drug. And when you leave that addiction, when you try to kick that addiction, sometimes you have withdrawals. That's why she starts crying. They have kids together. They have a family together. She said, my kids hate me right now, but that'll come around. Yeah, your kids might not like you right now because the father or whoever might convince them that you tore the family apart. But eventually, kids grow up and understand the dynamic of what happened when they get old enough. So don't stay because of the kids, y'all, because you want to keep them in an abusive relationship, an abusive, a toxic environment 100% of the time, living in that house that got trash and everything in it because he got mad because you left because he was drinking. And I tell this to people all the time, too, about restraining orders, getting restraining orders against narcissistic or toxic people, dangerous people like that. It's not just to keep the person away from you. It's to keep you away from the person as well, because sometimes you try to go back. If you pose a safety risk to yourself going back into that toxic environment. And she said before that people don't believe her because he's a nice guy. Everybody else thinks he's a nice, sweet, kind, funny, charming guy, just like a lot of narcissists and toxic people present. So going no contact or as low contact as possible can help you heal and break the trauma bond. Document everything that you've experienced and reread it to yourself. Write it down and read it out loud to yourself. Check out this journal on Amazon.